Gran Turismo. It's the game most of us probably grew up with, the original driving simulator. I spent the majority of my childhood playing the Gran Turismo series, and all of my favourite cars and tracks are now because of this game. The ability to get behind the wheel of any car you could dream of, tune it to your heart's content, and race against others was like being in dreamland when you were a kid. As the series evolved, I remember buying all the PlayStation magazines, waiting for Gran Turismo 4 and Gran Turismo 5. There were years and years of delays which became synonymous with the franchise at that time, and somehow it made us even more excited for when the game actually released. Today I'll be racing some of the most iconic cars from the early Gran Turismo series, both race and road cars, in the modern era's version of Gran Turismo, Assetto Corsa. Here we are then, in the race cars. Look at this, the Toyota GT1. This was my favourite race car in any Gran Turismo game. It was always the fastest car really in Gran Turismo 2, wasn't it? There's the Lister Storm in front, remember the green and yellow Lister Storm? The Supra, the Calibra, the R390. Look at all these amazing cars going past. Of course the JGTT R34, the R33 Skyline. 787B, that was in Gran Turismo 3, not really in Gran Turismo 2. But still synonymous with the series, and there you can see the one and only Castrol Tom Supra up above, and the R34 as well, JGTT car, which I think was only Gran Turismo 4 when that first appeared in the series, if I remember correctly. You remember the red and silver, is it Janavi sponsor? I don't know what the sponsor's called, I'll have to look that up. But just look at all these cars on track, I mean, they just look absolutely amazing. We're here at Grand Valley Speedway, one of my favourite all-time tracks from Gran Turismo. And there's also a McLaren you can just see up ahead there. Again, that was Gran Turismo 4. This is just the short tail version. Obviously we had the long tail version, but I don't have that downloaded on the Assetto Corsa, so we'll have to put up with the short tail version for now of the GTR McLaren. But yeah, this track as well, I absolutely love this track. One of my favourites, along with the special stages. I think special stage Route 11 might be my all-time favourite, the really long one. But yeah, look at the bridge, the iconic bridge coming across here in a Toyota GT1. And this car, I remember I was always chasing it. It would always win the races around the high-speed ring and all those circuits. And what was the small oval called? I can't remember what that was called, but oh yeah, and the GT40 as well. That's not in this race, but I remember the sound that used to make, and the sound this used to make as well. It used to have a really distinctive sound all the way through the Gran Turismos until I think like Gran Turismo 5 or Gran Turismo 6. It had a really like distinctive sound to it. And yeah, just I've not driven this track since Gran Turismo, and I've not played Gran Turismo in years now. I don't have a PlayStation or anything like that, but yeah, this version of the GT1 is just brilliant. I remember the GT1, it always had a bit of it always raced with the R390 Nissan. I always remember them on track together. I remember the light blue and red R390, and then obviously the white and red Toyota GT1. They were always together on the racetrack, which was so cool. And yeah, just those memories of that car. I used to idolise this car because I'd never, obviously had no internet or anything back then, so I'd never seen anything like it. I'd never seen it on TV. I didn't watch Le Mans back then when I was like 7, back in the late 90s. I didn't watch Le Mans until the 2000s. So I'd never seen this car. To me, it was just this crazy myth of a race car. And, you know, then as you get older and you get to Gran Turismo 3, Gran Turismo 4, you see it again and again. Then you get internet and you can watch clips of when it actually raced. And it just doesn't look real. It's like, wow, this actually raced on a real circuit. Yeah, so cool. And obviously with the Castrol Tom Supra, who can forget the Gran Turismo 3 intro with Feeder, Just a Day. What a song. Feeder, one of my all-time favourite bands, just because of Gran Turismo. Yeah, and obviously I had the engine inside the Castrol Tom Supra, and the way that it built up the music with the engine, and just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And yeah, I don't think we're going to catch these cars in front at this rate. I think they're a bit far ahead for now. But yeah, that was just a quick look at some of the iconic race cars from the early Gran Turismo series. Let's go and have a look at some of the road cars now around the high-speed ring. Here it is then, the high-speed ring. I couldn't find a version of the original high-speed ring, so we're having to use the more modern, I think it was Gran Turismo 4, Gran Turismo 5 version of the high-speed ring. And look at this. I loved this car back in the day when I was a little kid. I remember I had a black version of my first one, and yeah, I used to call it the Black Beauty. I was like 7 years old. The Nismo 400R, one of my favourite all-time cars. I think there's only like 200, 300, 400 of these in the world, maybe not even that, maybe like 70, but I don't know. But there's not many of them. And look at all the iconic cars we're going past. The Supra RZ, the normal R33, look at the Mitsubishi in front. That Mitsubishi GTO was one of my, again, all-time favourite cars in Gran Turismo, in that bright blue, almost purplish livery, if you remember the colour of that. It really stood out on the screen, and you can tune that to like 1,000 horsepower. You could tune all of the Skylines to 1,000 horsepower, that RX-7, the Supra, absolutely love it. And there is, look, I absolutely love, that's my dream realistic car in real life, Honda S2000. It was on the arcade mode intro video, if you remember. It was the main car from the intro, and obviously I used to literally ask my mum if I could just turn the PlayStation on the main TV, just so I could watch the intro of Gran Turismo 2 on arcade mode, because it had the song, my favourite game. I loved that song. I loved the S2000. Oh, and those memories are just amazing. Obviously in front we've got the R34. I've crashed, but that's okay, we carry on. Good colour choice from the other car there, same as mine, but obviously the newer version, and not the 400R variant, which there doesn't exist for the R34. But yeah, it just sounds so good. Look at those together, unbelievable. R34, I remember I used to have a model of the R34 when Gran Turismo 3 was out. Another R33 in front. For me, the R33 is the best model of the Skyline for me, just because of Gran Turismo, just because of the 400R, and also I used to have an R33 V-Spec GTR, and you could tune that to like 1,200 horsepower on Gran Turismo 2. And if you remember, they also had the drag car, the R33 drag car, the HKS. That was my all-time favourite car in the game. I know I've said that so many times, but it really was, because you take it to the test track and you just fly down the straights at like 400 odd kilometers an hour with that wing hanging off the back in the HKS colours. Oh, those were the days. There was that, and there was the 180 SX drag car as well that you could race them against. And also you could have the Escudo as well, which was super quick in a fast straight line. I should have included the Escudo in this, shouldn't I? With the race cars, but maybe we'll see that in another video. But yeah, coming to the final lap here, you can just about see the car ahead. That is the iconic Honda NSX, obviously helped designed by Ayrton Senna back in the early 90s. It's pretty quick as well. I thought I had the fastest car here so that I could go through the field and, you know, see all the different cars, but he's really trying to get away from me. But yeah, again, the NSX, the Type S variants as well from all the Gran Turismo series. It's just amazing, and what it's done for so many people. I've heard Jimmy Broadbent say it as well in the past. You know, what Gran Turismo has done for a whole generation of young men and women like me and him, and I'm sure a lot of you watching, is just phenomenal. And we really do have to thank Polifany and Kazunori Yamauchi and the whole team there that created those games and had that idea back in the late 90s to create, you know, this incredible game. And it's changed our lives, it's inspired our lives, it's inspired our choices. I did, you know, motorsport at university, and really I might not have been that interested in motorsport if it wasn't for Gran Turismo. So yeah, just incredible, and it's so good that we can enjoy, you know, this passion together now on new platforms like Assetto Corsa, and obviously Assetto Corsa Evo coming out soon, and others. Just, you know, and enjoy it together. And this is where it all started, isn't it? This is where it all started. So yeah, it's so nice to reflect back on it. What's your favourite car from the Gran Turismo series ever? Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3, 4, any of them? Did you play all of the games? Did you play the concept games? I remember the Tokyo Game Show, was it? No, Tokyo Car Show, Motor Show version. It had like the pod car, remember the pod car and all those things, and the prologues, Gran Turismo 4 prologue, 5 prologue. Yeah, what was your favourite Gran Turismo? What was your favourite car from Gran Turismo? And what was your favourite track from Gran Turismo? I'd really love to know. So yeah, please let me know down in the comments below. Please do like and subscribe on the video as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.